This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
It is without a doubt one of the scariest moments in the world, seeing your parent really sick or even worse, watching them suffer with a health emergency.
Especially if you're only 10 years old. You're about to hear the story of Samantha, a little girl with a big heart.
Don't pick me up, don't pick me up.
This is the moment 10-year-old Samantha Collis has been waiting for.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
If it wasn't for Samantha's bravery and quick thinking, this reunion with her father, Sheldon, may never have happened. The two were home alone when she noticed something was terribly wrong.
He wasn't responding to me. That's what I noticed, and I got really scared.
Despite her fears, Samantha remained calm, first calling her mom, who rushed home from the grocery store, and then speaking to a 911 operator herself.
Not only was she fast, but she knew exactly what to do. She stayed there with him. I got home, and she just was sitting there praying on the ground with him.
By the time he got to the ER, he was completely paralyzed on the right side of his body. Doctors say he suffered a severe stroke triggered by a blood clot in his brain.
Yeah, a 10 years old, pick up a stroke-like symptoms and calling 911. It's amazing.
And had Samantha not called for help when she did, he may not have survived.
I really wouldn't say myself a hero. I would say everybody would be a hero, because the doctors made him better and everybody made him better.
What a wonderful story. And you know, there's an easy way to remember and identify the symptoms of a stroke. Remember the acronym FAST, F-A-S-T. Face, does one side droop? Maybe ask that person to smile. Arms, is one arm weak or numb? Ask that person to raise both arms. Speech, is speech slurred? Are they experiencing a sudden and severe headache? And time. If you see any of these symptoms, waste no time. Call 911 right away.
Certainly life-saving information, and you know, when it comes to stroke, so often it's considered a man's disease.
That's simply not the case. In fact, February is the month to shed light on just how much women are at risk, but not only for stroke, for heart disease as well. The American Heart Association reports 1 in 3 women dies of heart disease and stroke. But educating yourself can go a long way, especially when you consider that 80% of heart attacks and strokes can be treated and prevented if women just learn the risk factors and work to fight them. So joining us today to tell us more is Jeannie Ruff, Executive Director of the Guerrieri Heart and Vascular Institute at PRMC. Jeannie, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
1 in 3 women. That's surprising.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in women. It's not breast cancer, not that breast cancer isn't a devastating illness as well. Heart disease is still the #1 leading cause of death nationally, but for women it's even more important to be aware of the symptoms, to be aware of the staggering statistic, because we've tended to taken it for granted, thinking that it's predominantly a man's disease or a male disease, but women are facing the same kind of risk factors and stressors as males do, and so it's again much more important for awareness and education to know the signs and symptoms and to just know the staggering statistics.
So you say that a lot of women don't think they're at risk. Why?
Absolutely. Well, when you look at the signs, typically the incidence of heart disease don't usually hit until after a woman goes through menopause, because the female hormones tend to serve as a cardioprotective medication impact, predominantly affecting all the lipids. But we find that women are smoking more, they are not as active, they are overweight, their glucose or sugar levels are being elevated.
All of these are risk factors.
Absolutely. And more importantly, if there's a blood relative under the age of 50 who has died of a heart attack, that's an unprecedented risk. So you have to look at not only family history, but then what are you doing for your own health as well, where the risk factors come in.
Now, one thing a lot of people don't realize is that the symptoms of heart problems in a woman are much different than they are in men.
Correct. So, there is a bit of a change. Women tend to present with more fatigue, shortness of breath, indigestion-like symptoms, where men tend to present with the classic elephant sitting on their chest, heavy chest pain, shortness of breath as well. And so for many years and times we thought these were all, that there was no correlation with regards to heart disease in women. But on the other token, women can have those classic symptoms as well of that heaviness in their chest. So I believe there's been much more awareness both from the medical community as well as the community at large to take these signs and symptoms very seriously and not underestimating the potential that it could be heart disease in women. We would much rather have women come into the emergency department and be ruled out as not having cardiovascular disease and it simply be indigestion than let those symptoms go untreated.
Now, you used a big word there, awareness, and that's what February and Going Red is all about. Tell us about the Go Red campaign.
Actually, it's a national campaign that both from the American Heart Association as well as the American College of Cardiology, along with Macy's and many other not-for-profit organizations, are really taking this effort very seriously in terms of community education, community awareness, and making people aware of the risk of heart disease in women. And I see each of you have your red dress pins on. I'm very pleased to see those being displayed, of course. And again, it's that kind of awareness of making women aware, family members aware of the signs and symptoms and to know what to do.
And there's an event right here on Delmarva. Tell us about that.
That is our Tri-County Go Red, which will take place on Thursday, February the 5th at the Pocomoke Community Center. And this is a tremendous event which looks at a coordinated effort between all three county health departments as well as Atlantic General Hospital, McCready, and Peninsula Regional Medical Center. This is well past our 10th year of orchestrating an event like this, where we have motivational speakers, cooking demonstrations, vendors, educational awareness, a heart healthy dinner is all going to be served to, again, bring it to the people. And I think that's what's so important, is that we take it through the three county areas, a different location every year, so we can really take the program to the people and make sure that they are enlightened with all the information we have.
So we can still register for this, but we've got to do it today.
Absolutely.
Today's the day.
And there's the number, 410-641-9268. Jeannie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Absolutely.
And to read more about PRMC or for more details on the Tri-County Go Red event, go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page.
Well, another big part of staying healthy is making sure that you get enough sleep. But when you're left tossing and turning, the end result can really hurt your health. A little later on Delmarva Life, we're going to learn more about the impact of insomnia.
But next, this Delmarva girl was told she'd be a vegetable forever after a horrific car crash near Milford. But she's proved that theory wrong. We hear Lily's story and find out what she turned to that led her on the road to recovery. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.